basically ready to rock. I held a piece of wood in there, lined up with where the neck went in. But the other consideration is, so you can see, these holes still have to line up. So this tip of the W routing is lined up with the front surface of this neck, and the holes do line up. And that's because I never drill holes in a guitar neck without measuring it a dozen times. Here's another tip. When you're drilling into a guitar neck for the first time, use a bit that perfectly fits the hole in the body, sliver, so that you can line it up exactly where you want the holes in the neck. That way you have a nice clean neck pattern and you're not driving weird angles or any of that kind of rubbish. Worked out the center lines once the necks are installed, just using the dots basically. But and a big long piece of wood, and of course I get it all lined up, and then go to the other end and look sort of down the barrel from where the string goes across the saddle all the way down to where the string crosses the nut. And you have to do that for the high string and the low string on both guitars. And once you have that, you'll know how much of the shoulder of the fret there will be on either side of it. And the whole point is to keep it balanced and centered. If I have to err, I err on the side of cheating the low string because I want more fret for the high strings. But perfectly balanced is just better if you can do it. So this is the printout. Lines up nicely with the neck. And the pickup cavity is exactly where I want it because it puts the bridge at just the right distance. For this guy, I've got the bridge measured out to, I've got a pencil line underneath this, but that's where the 30-inch mark is. After considerable deliberation, I'm going with the Tele plate in this position, wired where forward is going to be the up, if you follow me. Whereas in a Les Paul, the up switch is for the forward pickup, so I'm going to do the forward switch position is for the upper guitar, and then the back position is for this guitar. And I will actually have the middle for both. There's no real application for that, but it's why not? And I'm going to take the tone knob off and put the input jack right there. I really don't want to put one in the side of the body, although it's an interesting approach. But for the purpose of this instrument, I want to get done quickly, and I can just put tone on my pedals somehow. So my way of getting the router started, I don't have a router that plunges nicely. So what I do instead is start it with the drill press. We've got a hole that I've measured is less than I need it to be, but it's enough to get it started safely. The problem is I missed my spot. I forgot what side of this line I was supposed to be starting on. Oops. So I just touched the wood before I realized it didn't feel right, and that's going to be wood filler, and thankfully just under the sunburst. While we're on the topic of errors made while using my tools, if you can see that pencil line, that's where I was supposed to stop for the control cavity. Two problems. I wasn't using a light, and my router doesn't have one built in, and I didn't see that pencil line. I saw what I thought was my pencil line, and I went past where I was supposed to. So it doesn't help that all this crap is also building up in there, because my router also doesn't have any kind of vacuum attachment. Alright, so this is what I'm going to have to deal with. Probably the easiest way of fixing this problem would be to cut a nice clean square hole out and then glue in a replacement. And I might consider extending all the way out to here and getting this one too. I've heard it said that the sign of a good carpenter is how good a job they do covering up or repairing their own mistakes. And being only a hobbyist and having no actual training in doing this, I like a good challenge. So I think I just might do that. We'll see how this goes. So here's the solution for that accident from before. Make it a clean accident, and then I cut out this little chunk of wood with the same grain pattern and roughly the same color. Well, I mean, it's pine, but anyway. And then had to hand sand some curves into it. So I'm going to cover that thing in glue and hammer it down. On the bright side, this is actually still covered up by the control plate, so you're not even going to see that. That's why I didn't extend this repair all the way up to here. I'm going to try this first. This is just wood filler. If that looks like a dot circle of wood filler when I'm finished, then I'll get out the router, do a gouge, well, it's not a gouge, but route, and then redo this hand solution.